Like having to drink 1 liter of water for this ultrasound, and I'm like, the average person can hold in their urine. I can't fucking hold it in. And I have to drink all this water. Like, are you fucking stupid or are you stupid? I need to pee. Oh my gosh, please don't bring it out. I don't even know if I drank enough water. It's 1 liter in my head. Hey guys, so in this video I really wanted to be talking about something that was kind of just going on for this entire month, and it's kind of frustrating because this is supposed to be World MS Month, hence why I'm wearing orange right now. But yeah, this just honestly wasn't my month, but it's okay. We have April coming up in a few days. So in this video, it is part 1 where I talk about the overactive bladder meets the pelvic ultrasound. Part 2 will actually be up the day after tomorrow, so that would be 31st, April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. And then part 3 and 4 will be up for next week. Now, why I decided to part my videos was because I felt like it made the most sense to me, because each part that I wanted to talk about I felt like had to be organized in one little category. But so it's like, honestly, it makes sense in my head, and now I'm getting a little nervous because I forgot how to vlog. It's been a month. But if you haven't already, go and subscribe to my channel. Check out my wish list. I'll put the links down below. And for now, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I know some of you guys are probably wondering, Pri, why did you even need a pelvic ultrasound? And that's just because, if you don't know me already, I overthink. And when I overthink, I tend to diagnose myself with things I don't even have. So I did a pelvic ultrasound. The results ended up coming back to me. Nothing was wrong with me, but I pretty much put myself through hell and back with everything I will be talking about in part 1, 2, 3, and even part 4. Honestly, like, I think I need to start underthinking, but if I underthink, then where does the creativity come into play? One thing I failed to realize is that I've never held in my bladder. Like, even when I'm outside or even when I'm at home in bed, when I need to pee, I pee it all out. Especially with having an overactive bladder, right? But this was the first time I forced myself to hold it in, and I guess I put my body into shock. So basically when I did to my ultrasound, right, I'm literally pacing back and forth in the waiting room, waiting for the nurse to come in. I'm like, why is it taking you so long when you know I'm trying to hold in my bladder? And she finally comes in, sees me pacing back and forth, trying not to pee, right? She asked me to lay on the bed. I laid on the bed, and she took the transducer, right? And she's trying to scan my bladder. But she has to, like, push down on my bladder to scan it, right? And that just makes it even worse, because I'm literally peeing as she's trying to scan my bladder. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to tell her this. She's going to get annoyed with me. I'm literally peeing as she's taking the transducer thing. And in my head, I'm thinking, can they actually see you actually peeing in that moment? Because it's like you have all these liquids in you and then it suddenly disappears as you're scanning. Like, where's all that pee going? Well, yeah, it's going in my diaper. At this point, my nurse trying to take the diaper off, right? In my head, I'm thinking, first off, you didn't even ask me. And second, you didn't even warn me about taking it off. But I'm literally just watching her because I'm like, I wonder how easy this is going to be for her. Because I'm like, she's probably assuming I was wearing a medical diaper, but I wasn't. I was wearing an extra small Mega Max. And if you guys know, you know. The tapes on the Mega Max are phenomenal. And then she tells me I can go pee. And I was like, wait, are you sure? And she goes, yeah, just pee it all out right now so then I could do a scan of your bladder again and see how much you let out. But in my head, I'm like literally thinking, I'm like, this woman has seen me wearing a diaper. Why can't I pee in my diaper? Why am I going to the bathroom to pee it all out? So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to go to the bathroom, pee in the diaper, and come back. And that's exactly what I did, because I'm like, I'm going to put this diaper to use. I did that, and that was the last time I was able to pee. I think what frustrated me about this whole thing was not just the fact that I had to hold in my bladder, but it was just the fact that it wasn't even just this nurse, right? I've seen quite a few doctors this month prior to my ultrasound, and I've told them about my ultrasound, I've told them about my overactive bladder, but not a single one of them told me to not do an ultrasound, and that's what really frustrates me, because I just feel like for the past 6 years, with having an autoimmune disease, I feel like I'm always the one having to figure things out for myself, and I'm not even the doctor at this point, right? And it's like, that's what really frustrates me. So if you're watching my video right now and you have an overactive bladder and you're required to do an ultrasound, think twice about it before you do it, because honestly, you're gonna go through hell and back if you held in your pee for longer than you should, but no one's gonna fucking tell you that because you're the one that's going through it, not the doctors. I think the thing that really does frustrate me is the fact that March was the month I was seeing nurse after doctor after nurse after doctor. I was seeing all of these people. For the past 6 years, I feel like I've always had to be on my toes of when something was going to happen to me. But it's like, with having done an ultrasound, it was under the recommendation of my family doctor, and I have an overactive bladder, but he never took that into account. He never told me, hey, you know what, let's not do an ultrasound because you have an overactive bladder and you're going to get the urinary retention. And this just gets into my next fucking point. I seriously forgot how to pee. Like, I feel it. I know once I'm able to pee it all out, I'll feel better. I just don't remember how to pee. Not even the faucet's helping me. It always helps me. I have never felt so happy and grateful about having an overactive bladder up until I started to experience urinary retention to the extent in which I had. Oh my gosh. I have a hard time sending signals from my brain to the rest of my body. And I do notice this the most with going to the bathroom. So when I'm walking outside, everything just comes out when it wants to come out. But when it comes to me sitting on the toilet, it's like with me overthinking things, it kind of just pauses my entire body, and then I have a hard time sending signals from my brain to my body to be like, okay, Pri, let's pee, and it's like, it's just not sending down the signals, and I feel half broken. This was really frustrating for me because it's like, at this point, right, I knew I drank so much liquid, but why wasn't I able to pee? And none of it made any sense to me. So I was really sitting on the toilet for a good half hour. I still wasn't able to pee. I was in excruciating pain. I literally felt like my bladder was about to explode. And at that point, I knew that if I peed it all out, I would feel better, right? So having that urinary retention ended up leading me to go to the emergency because I was in excruciating pain, you guys. It's so hard to describe the pain I was feeling. But to basically sum it up, it literally felt like my bladder was about to explode. And this was the moment that I realized that the day that I thought was finally coming to the end was only the beginning. And that's just the, I can't speak, oh my gosh, it's been a month, okay. But now that I'm just starting to feel so much better now, I feel like I'm ready to film. How now? Is that a freaking bug? Oh my gosh, no, why? It's gone somewhere on the ground. I can't, out of sight, out of mind. I can't see it right now, so I'm not gonna think about it. What I hate about spring, because spring is when all the creepy crawlies come out, and I just do not like bugs. Literally, I think I'm going to be doing this throughout the entire video, where I'm going to be looking at every single corner I can possibly, okay, no, you know, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see it, I'm not going to think about it. Okay. But with having that urgency to need to pee, but just holding it in, it was also difficult for me too, because usually when I trigger my body, my MS symptoms just worsen. I don't know if you can hear my diaper tapes just kind of popping. It's not popping off, it's just making noises.